Hello everyone and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is your soulmate's best trait. So this is what your favorite quality about your soulmate will be. There are 4 piles to choose from, and I suggest selecting your pile based on the pile marker that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 1, the distorted feminine, because the conch shell on this card reminds me of when I was at my favorite beach in the whole world, and I was like kind of far out in the ocean, and I felt like a conch shell down in the sand, and I went and I picked it up, and it had Sharpie writing on it, and it said the words party and the word giving. And I don't know what that means. It feels like probably someone was like out in the ocean on a boat and wrote on the shell and dropped it, and it just like made its way back closer to the shore. But I have it on my nightstand now, and yeah, that is why I would choose that pile. So feel free to pause the video now to select your pile, and I will put the timestamps in the description down below. Let's get started. If you selected pile 1, the distorted feminine, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out what the best trait of your soulmate is. So I actually want to start off at the end of your spread here with the 4th and 5th cards, this 7 of Wands and this 8 of Pentacles. So from these 2 cards, I'm really picking up that in your past romantic relationships, before you come into union with your soulmate, there was a lot of conflict. In particular with the 7 of Wands, I get the sense that you were very heavily criticized, or you felt very criticized. You felt like you constantly had to prove yourself or keep fighting to kind of be seen or heard in the relationship. A lot of you could have been in emotionally abusive relationships, but overall I'm getting the sense that you felt constantly that you had to like prove yourself worthy of love or respect within the relationship. And that's also going hand in hand with that 8 of Pentacles, which is a card about having to work hard. So it also feels like not only were your previous partners kind of pushing back against you or telling you that you weren't enough or making you feel as if you're not doing enough, you're not good enough in order to be respected or loved, but also it feels like you were the one putting in the majority of the time and effort into the relationship. You were the person that was really carrying the emotional workload. You were, planning things. You were trying to keep the communication light. You were the one who stepped forward and apologized, and maybe you weren't the person who needed to be apologizing. Like you were the one who was always trying to smooth things over and make it work. But I think ultimately the people that you've been with in the past just were not good for you, because obviously the person that you want to be with, your soulmate, is not going to be someone that you have to beg to love you or like beg to respect you, beg to treat you well. And I think for a lot of you, that is a lesson that you've kind of learned. And so when you do meet your soulmate, and you may or may not have already met this person, when you come into union with this person and this person is treating you well, I think because of this kind of mental strain from your past relationships, you're almost immediately like very suspicious, or you're kind of looking for reasons to not trust this person, because in the past you've been hurt so much. It's very easy for you to think this person is being suspiciously nice, there's something wrong here, or this person is trying to trick me. I think that it's very easy for you to get into your own head and try to kind of talk yourself out of being loved by this person. And for a lot of you, and for a lot of people in general, getting into relationships where you feel like you constantly have to earn love or prove that you deserve to be treated with respect or affection comes from a larger, kind of psychic wound, which is that maybe that's the way that you felt as a child, that you were not innately worthy of love, that it's something that you had to earn or prove. And so you kind of put yourself into these romantic relationships where you are repeating that pattern and ultimately kind of reinforcing that idea for yourself that you are not, as you are, a person that is worthy of love or respect. And it's something that you have to earn through your own labor and through, going through these kind of trials. And obviously that is a very difficult thing to overcome. But as I said with your soulmate, I don't think that this person treats you this way. I think this person sees your innate lovability, your innate worth, that you are a human being who deserves respect and affection, and they're not trying to change you or tell you that you're not good enough or that you need to be doing more for them. This relationship is much more reciprocal, but as I said, because you've been maybe stuck in this mindset of feeling very insecure or unloved or guilty about not being enough, that I think that does carry over into this relationship, where you are kind of second guessing this person's intentions, or, if maybe they say something that is not intentionally hurtful, but maybe you interpret it that way, then it can kind of cause you to spiral. But as I said, this is the best quality of your soulmate. So with the Six of Swords in the middle of the spread here, if you look at this card, there's a swan on the card, and they're kind of going from the right to the left. And the Six of Swords is a card that is all about transition, and it's about mental transitions, going from kind of something that is mentally taxing for you into something that is smoother, calmer, more placid. And so you're moving away from this feeling of needing to prove yourself, of feeling like, everything falls on you and no one's gonna want you or appreciate you unless you are constantly like striving to overcome these things that you think are unlovable about yourself, or constantly trying to make everyone else's life easier. And you're going towards this Eight of Wands and this Queen of Cups. And I really think the Six of Swords here represents the healing energy that your soulmate brings to you. So I think that really is their best quality, is how healing they are for you. This person has so much patience, so much love, so much emotional openness, such strong communication skills. They're so generous with their emotions and their time in a way that you are not used to. And it will take time, but eventually I do think you kind of settle into being able to accept the love of this person. And as I said, that's coming through in the first two cards in your spread, what this person allows you to transition to, that Eight of Wands and that Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is someone who can really be in that kind of feminine, receptive energy. Whereas I feel like in your past relationships, you were kind of chasing after people and trying to like get them to love you and putting in all of this effort for minimal results, whereas this person is like, you don't actually have to prove yourself to me. You don't have to really do anything. You can just be yourself and I will pour all of this love into you. And that really allows you to blossom and be more emotionally open, be more confident in where you are, feel calmer in your relationship. And with the Eight of Wands, this is a card that can really indicate like open communication, but also attraction. A lot of the times this is referred to as the flames of desire, the flames of love. So I think, especially if in your past relationships, maybe the criticism was about your appearance, or, someone telling you, making you feel very insecure about your looks, then this is someone who constantly, tells you they think you're so attractive, you're so sexy, you feel sexy with this person. And also with the Eight of Wands, as I said, this is a communication card. So this is a person who's not going to give you the silent treatment or kind of make you guess what it is that you've done wrong or make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. This person really believes in open communication. And with the Queen of Cups, they are very emotionally intelligent. So it's not just that they're, as soon as they're angry, they're just going to tell you immediately what's on their mind and it's going to be rude. It's if this person has an issue, they will come to you in a very calm, collected manner, and you will be able to talk it out as adults and move on from that. And I think having that emotional security, and having, that beautiful, receptive, open energy from this person who really genuinely seems to care about you and wants the best for you is going to be so healing. And I think you will just feel so comfortable with this person. And all of this is coming through in that pile marker that you selected, the Distorted Feminine, which is really a card that's about how, a lot of the times if you've been beat down by toxic energies, you do end up being very insecure, very feeling like you have to do it all of yourself, feeling unlovable or unloved. And I think that's really where you're at before you meet this person. But this person literally allows you to come out of that shell that's depicted on this card. They allow you to open yourself up and, realize that Just because you've had negative romantic experiences in the past does not mean that it is a pattern that will continue, and it is not proof that you are unlovable or undesirable, or that, no one's ever going to want to treat you well, or that you're undeserving of being treated well. And I think that's also coming through in the Lovers Oracle cards that I selected here. So that's that heart-shaped card. And on this card it says, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So this feels like a message almost from your soulmate, where I think for a lot of you, because you've had these kind of taxing romantic relationships in the past, there is a lot of self-blame here. Because I'm sure that the people that you were in a relationship with put a lot of blame on you. And they were like, well, if you were more like this or this, then I could have treated you better. And I think that is something that you've carried with you. But I also feel like you're kind of, again, paranoid of having to go through that experience again. So when you meet this person, you are kind of like searching for anything that could be a red flag, or kind of trying to decide that they're going to hurt you so you can cut it off and not have to be vulnerable with this person when you first meet them. But the message that this person wants to give to you is, you don't have to feel like you're constantly making bad decisions for yourself. You don't have to feel guilty about going through this before, or like it was your fault, because ultimately it's just a lesson, right? And it's, hopefully you've learned from it, you stepped away from it, but it doesn't mean that you are a bad person or that you are truly inherently unlovable. And I think this person really does heal that wound within you. And that's also coming through in the Romance Angels card that we have here, Deception, which says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So I feel like this is really more about you, how you're kind of deceiving yourself, I think, because as I said, you're very resistant to this connection when it first comes in, because you're like, I've been hurt by everyone else in the past. This person's definitely trying to trick me. They're going to hurt me. They don't actually like me. How could they like me when I'm unlovable, when no one else before has ever treated me well? And I think this person is like, you are kind of contributing to your own suffering. You are trying to shut down this connection so you can, kind of stay in that pattern, because it's easier to be like, well, this is how all of my relationships have been, so this is the thing, than being able to open yourself up and be like, actually, there are people that treat me well, and I was, maybe selecting people that were not great for me before because I already had those beliefs about myself. This person really allows you to let go of that story that you've put on yourself, that you are maybe unlovable or undesirable, or that no one will ever treat you well, and allows you to see, no, I've been right here. I'm right here, and I want to treat you well, and I think that you are inherently worthy of love and respect. And I want you to realize that a lot of people see you that way. It's just that you don't see yourself that way. So you've got to take off those kind of dark colored glasses that you are seeing your worldview through. And so this person, your soulmate, ultimately does really help you overcome that. And that is your really favorite trait about this person, is how loved they make you feel, how respected they make you feel, how emotionally intelligent and communicative they are, that they don't make you feel insecure, they don't play on your insecurities, and ultimately they are a very healing presence in your life. All right, my pile ones, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you again, and take care. If you selected pile 2, Life Purpose, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out what your favorite trait of your soulmates will be. So we're starting off your spread here with this Ace of Swords, and immediately what I'm picking up is that your soulmate is someone who is very decisive, and someone who is really not afraid to stand up for what they believe in. They're really not afraid to cut ties, and if they feel like they're being backed into a corner or being pushed into doing something that they don't want to do, they are really quick to end that. And that's also coming through in the next card here, the Seven of Swords, which can really indicate someone who's very witty, strategic, and someone who is really not afraid to kind of get away with something. So For example, if your soulmate was in a situation where maybe they were being kind of set up at work to fail, they would probably get all their ducks in a row, like get a hold of everything that they worked on and then put in their 2 weeks notice and like go to another job that really like they've already been lined up and planned for. They're really not afraid to draw a boundary and step away from something or sneak away from something if it's no longer serving them. And with the Two of Swords in reversed in the middle of your spread here, I think that's kind of a reiteration of that energy, because the Two of Swords upright is a card that can really be about indecision or stagnancy or kind of being afraid to make a move. But in reverse, it indicates really being able to overcome this. So your person, even if it's a difficult decision and they know that maybe it will hurt someone's feelings, if it's something that is for their own betterment, they are not afraid to make that move, make that decision. And that's not to say that your person is selfish. I just think that what really comes through to me in this is that your person has this cognizance that, life is very short. You only live one life. So why would I stick around and be continuously disrespected in a situation or put up with something that is not making me happy or not, benefiting me in some kind of way? And so your person definitely is able to recognize situations that are no longer serving them and remove themselves from it as quickly as possible. And I think you really admire this because obviously it takes a lot of strength and a lot of bravery to be able to operate like that. But I think it also rubs off on you. I think through your relationship with this person, you do end up being able to stand up for yourself more. I'm getting the sense that for a lot of you, you are people that have had issues drawing boundaries, or if someone hurts your feelings, you kind of have a hard time stating that because you might be conflict averse, whereas your soulmate really encourages you to go, no, you don't need to put up with someone, treating you poorly just for the sake of keeping peace. You need to speak your mind, because otherwise it's going to be a pattern that you just have to deal with forever. You can either fix it and let that person go or that situation go if it's not going to remedy itself, because ultimately that's not meant for you if it's not something that will benefit you in the long run. Or you can continue to kind of suffer in silence. What's it going to be? And I think that kind of philosophy from your soulmate really pushes you to go more towards the things in your life that are really affirming to your person. And that's also coming through in the last two cards in your spread, which are this Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card about abundance, luckiness, and it's really this energy of knowing that just because something's not working out now, it will work out in the future. There's a lot of optimism to this card, and there is a lot of bravery. Now you can see the Wheel of Fortune, there are these different animals in the corners, and these represent the fixed signs of the zodiac. So we have Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. But the Wheel of Fortune card itself is also representative of Sagittarius. But with the Leo on here, and also with the Sun as the next card in your spread, which is the Sun as ruler of Leo, I'm really picking up that your soulmate could be a Leo or have a prominent Leo placement in their natal chart, so Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But overall, I would say they're really embodying that kind of Leo bravery energy. But the other thing about Leos are they're very fun-loving. And so that's really coming through in this. Your person is very optimistic. They're always looking for, what wonderful thing is going to come their way. They really feel like if one door shuts, another door opens, and it's going to be better than you even imagine it to be. And with the Sun at the end of the spread here, this is the happiest card in all of the tarot. I love to see this in a relationship reading. It's really this kind of beautiful, you just have fun with each other. Like even the most simple things are just so joyous with each other. Going on a walk in the neighborhood, going to get ice cream, sitting on the couch and watching a movie. You just have so much fun together, just being able to talk to each other and be around each other. And there's a playfulness because the Sun is kind of this childish energy, but not childish in a derogatory way. It's just this very, like you're kind of seeing the world through fresh eyes, and this person really sparks your imagination and allows you to dream and be playful. And I don't think that these two characteristics of them being very quick to kind of set their boundaries and them being very fun-loving are at odds with each other. I think that this is kind of their life philosophy, that life is so short. I'm not going to put up with things that are no longer serving me because I want to focus on the things that truly make me happy. And I think all of these traits really rub off on you. And actually, when I was looking at these cards, it reminded me of something I read a few days ago from Frances Bean Cobain, who, if you're not familiar, that is Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of Nirvana's daughter. She just made this post on Instagram that was basically talking about the 30th anniversary of her father's death. And she wrote in that post, "It is the impermanent nature of human existence which throws us into the depths of our most authentic lives. There is no greater motivation for leaning into loving awareness than knowing everything ends." Which, to summarize, basically means YOLO. You only live once, life's short. Knowing that it's short and that you have a limited amount of time should motivate you to throw yourself into things that really affirm your personhood and allow you to spread love and feel loved within the world. And that is just the overall energy and vibe of your soulmate. I think that's also coming through in the pile marker that you selected, life purpose, because this is really a card about how, the purpose of your life should be about spreading that loving energy, not necessarily romantic, but finding the things that you love, finding the people that you love, finding the hobbies that you love, and directing yourself toward the things that fill your heart with love and allow you to spread love throughout the world. And again, that is really what your soulmate is about. So your Lover's Oracle card here is playfulness, and this says laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. And that really goes with that Sun card to me, which is a card that is very playful. So I think that's one of your favorite things about this person, is just how much fun you have together, how much this person allows you to kind of be in this very open-hearted, childlike energy. The second card that I pulled is from the Romance Angels deck, and this is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And I think this really goes with those first three kind of swords cards, where it's really about being able to identify what it is that you want, what makes you feel good, what is it that you are willing to sacrifice or you're not willing to sacrifice in order to improve your life. And I think that is really a trait of your soulmate, and also one that rubs off on you ultimately. So that is it for your reading, my pile twos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you again, and take care. If you selected pile 3, creativity, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out what your favorite trait of your soulmate will be. So we're starting off the spread here with this Tower card. And immediately what I'm getting from this is that your soulmate is someone who is very good at identifying the things that maybe they've invested in, the routines that they've built for themselves, which are ultimately not serving their greater happiness. So what do I mean by that? This person does not like to feel stagnant. This person does not want to live a life where it's the exact same every day. They wake up at 7 a.m. and then they go into their job and then they come back and then they eat dinner in front of the TV and then they play on their phone for 5 hours and then they go to bed. I think your person thinks that's really a recipe for feeling trapped by their life, feeling resentful of the life that they've created for themselves. They know that they need some variety and that the safety of routine is ultimately not going to save them from this need that they have for spontaneity. And the Tower is a card that is about knocking over something that maybe you've invested a lot of time in building or creating, if you know that eventually it's going to crumble anyway. And I think that's really the point of view that your person has, is that it doesn't matter how much time or how much energy or how much, stability maybe this particular foundation or this routine or this thing in my life used to give me. If I know that it can't last because it's not making me happy, it's not allowing me to grow and continue to learn things and try new things, it's gotta be gone from my life. And with the star next in the spread, your person is not like just a destructive force. The star numerically comes after the tower in the major arcana in the tarot. And the star is this card that's really about hopefulness and wish fulfillment. It's after you've gotten rid of this thing that you couldn't take with you, even if it was painful. What is it that you want to focus on bringing into your life now? And that's really the energy of your soulmate. And I don't think it's necessarily in a dramatic way. Really, what I'm getting from this is that I think for 99% of you are probably an introvert, and so is your soulmate, so good match. However, your soulmate does not want to be someone who ends up getting bored with their partner or their life because they're just doing the same thing over and over again. They do not want to be someone who stops learning or stops trying new things. It's very important for them to kind of use their imagination, use their fantasy to decide what new things they want to try. Otherwise, I think they will get kind of stir crazy. But I think you obviously really like this about them, that kind of desire to try new things, that desire to make their dreams come true and not become complacent within their lives. And that's also coming through in the next card here, this Maiden of Cups, which is equivalent to the Page of Cups, which is a card that's all about creativity. It's art, it's magic, it's passion, it's love, it's flirtation. It's all of these really beautiful kind of emotional things that make up life. And so I think your person really values that. This is someone who, if they get a really nice candle, like a really expensive candle, they're not going to be like, oh, we need to wait until like a special occasion to light the candle. They're going to be like, we already have the candle. Let's just light the candle because it smells nice. If this is someone who doesn't think that you have to wait for a special occasion to celebrate something or to try something new, they think life itself should be the special occasion. And so they're really interested in, trying new things. And it doesn't have to be things that are monetary. It could be something as simple as, I have been stuck inside all day, working from home. I feel like I'm going crazy. I need to go on a walk. Or I need to go sit outside in the sun. I need to go meditate. I need to go listen to the birds chirping. This person really values being able to mix it up and kind of reconnect to that emotionally tapped in part of themselves. That being said, your person is not all head in the clouds. Your person is actually very wise and very practical, and that's coming through in the next two cards here, this Two of Pentacles and the Hermit. So the Two of Pentacles is kind of a card about balance. And when it's between the Page of Cups and the Hermit here, I see this as this kind of balanced property of your soulmate's personality. So on one hand, they are this very creative, visionary, romantic, open-hearted person. And then on the other hand, there's this Hermit energy, which is that kind of introverted, withdrawn, but very wise energy. And so this person, they're not spontaneous to the point of throwing away everything that they've worked for. This is a very stable, grounded person, and they're a very wise person. And I think the reason why they're wise is because they know that they never want to be someone who quits learning or stops, leveling up or trying new things. And I think they also know that that can be really a death knell in relationships. That can be something that really, that stagnation, that routine can really cause people to lose their spark with each other. And this person doesn't want to lose that spark with you or that spark in their own life. And so that desire to break out of stagnancy, to let go of the things that maybe they felt they needed to do, but ultimately aren't allowing them to dream and feel hopeful and feel the beauty, connect to the beauty of the universe. They're letting that go. But they're still learning. They're still, very stable where they are mentally. This is not someone who just gives up things willy-nilly. And I think that energy is really coming through in the pile marker that you selected here, creativity, which is a card obviously about creativity and being able to break out of routine and find the beauty and things to look forward to in your everyday life. This person really values that, and they treat it almost as like a spiritual practice that, it's like practicing gratitude or finding new ways to connect to their senses and enjoy life in the day-to-day. And I think you really appreciate that about this person. So for your Lover's Oracle card here, we got surrender. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. And that really goes with the first two cards in the spread here, this Tower and the Star. So the Tower is the card about letting go, surrendering things that you know are not going to work for you in the long run, even if it's painful, so that way you can make room for these new things that you've been wishing for and dreaming of with the Star. With your Romance Angels card, we got Retreat, which says it's time to disconnect from the world. And that really goes with that Hermit to me. Your person has this ability to kind of take a step back and really recalibrate themselves. I think this person's very big on self-care. And, it's not that they're hiding from the world. They love the world so much. I think they find so much beauty in the world, but they need to take the time to kind of reconnect in their own way. And I think that really rubs off on you, this ability to kind of tap into their sensual nature and really value that alone time or that time away from the expectations of the world or the people around them and back into that kind of creative, dreamy energy that a lot of the times adult life or routine can try to knock out of us. That Page of Cups energy, that creativity, I think really is something that you admire so strongly about this person who is so wise and level-headed. And I think it's really one of the reasons why you end up falling in love with them. So how cute, my pile threes. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you again, and take care. If you selected pile 4, emotional freedom, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out what your favorite trait of your soulmates is. So we're starting off the spread here with this Queen of Pentacles. And actually at the beginning of this spread, I'm really getting a lot about the reader here, but I think this kind of taps into why you like these qualities of this person. So you are coming through as this Queen of Pentacles. You could be a Capricorn or another earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or have a prominent earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn placement in your natal chart. So your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. Although you don't have to, this is really just kind of the energy that you've been embodying, specifically when it comes to kind of your love life. Because the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is very self-made. This is someone who knows how to take care of themselves. They're very hardworking. They can be very nurturing and very giving in relationships. But I think that being in this energy has made you very independent in a way where you are almost a little bit afraid of romantic relationships before you come into contact with your soulmate, or if you already have, before you met them. I think that you were someone who was hyper independent and a little bit afraid of relationships because you felt like in the past with this Four of Pentacles here, it was you might have been interested in dating someone, but it was all they wanted to do was kind of drain you of your time and your energy and your resources, and it never really felt reciprocal. And I think because of that, you've kind of come up with this block when you come into union with your soulmate, when you meet them, where you are very hesitant to open up and let go and really allow people in and get to know you. The Four of Pentacles, this is really a card about keeping things close to your chest, really trying to hold on to all the resources you have and not let them go. And I think, again, that is really from these past experiences that you've had where you felt like you were trying to prove yourself or keep a relationship together where the other person just wasn't reciprocating. But with the Six of Pentacles in the middle of your spread here, this is really the thing that you like about your soulmate, is that they kind of crush that expectation. The Six of Pentacles is a card that's all about generosity. So you kind of, maybe meet your soulmate, or you have met them, and when you do, you're initially kind of hesitant because you're like, yeah, well, my other relationships, it feels like they just want me to do things for them. They don't actually care about, the reciprocation. They don't care about me as much as I care about them. They don't put as much effort into spending time with me as I do, whatever the situation is. And this person, your soulmate, kind of blows that expectation of that continued pattern out of the water because this person is so generous with their time, with their energy. Could be very generous, like financially, taking you on expensive dates, things like that. But generally, this person really does want to spoil you and kind of give you all of these things that you have not been receiving in your past romantic relationships. There is such a reciprocal level of care and appreciation here. And I think that really allows you to open back up and really kind of believe in the symbiosis of love. I think that is something that you really love about your soulmate. And the next cards we have here are the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So the Four of Cups can be a card about boredom, feeling like, you want to emotionally reject something because it's just not worth it to you. And I think this really goes with that Queen of Pentacles and that Four of Pentacles. We've got our two fours here of you being very independent, being someone who is very self-made, who does all of these things for yourself and has not really, and for other people, and has not really gotten it in return. I think, not only are you afraid that you're going to be completely drained, that someone's just going to want to use you for the things that you provide, but I think also you have this fear that what if you do meet someone and then you end up spending more time with them and then you get bored or they get bored and then it just fizzles out. Like, you don't want to meet someone that you actually like and then have it kind of stumble because of the routine or the familiarity of it. I think that's kind of an anxiety that you have. But then you meet your soulmate, and we have the Ace of Wands, which is a card about like fresh, new, continued excitement. So that really kind of pierces through these doubts from the Four of Cups card. You never really get bored with this person. You continue to have fun with them. You continue to kind of tap into that playful, childlike energy. And so really your favorite things about your soulmate is how giving they are, how much of a symbiotic relationship you have with this person, and how much fun you have with them. You never get bored. You never really feel stagnant. You really feel like you can be yourself with this person and not worry that they are going to get bored of you. And that's all coming through in the pile marker that you selected, this emotional freedom card. And the message of this card is that, a lot of people maybe see romantic relationships as something that can be stifling, as something that will hold you back or drain you, which I think is the energy that you were in before you meet this person or before you met this person. But true, like, emotional freedom in a relationship allows you to come together with your differences, with your different perspectives, and really see the value in each person's worldview. You don't get bored of each other. You don't feel like one person deserves less or one person has to put in more work. There is an equal give and take and an equal affection and learning and excitement in this relationship. And that really allows you to blossom and feel very comfortable and open with your soulmate. And that's also coming through in the Lover's Oracle card you selected, which is balance. This says, love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So to me, that balance really comes through in the Six of Pentacles. I mean, if you look on this card, they have a scale. This is really about being able to give and take freely. This is about being able to support each other, feeling like you can rely on each other. And I think really the challenge that is being referenced here is them kind of challenging you to open up and allow yourself to experience emotional freedom and know that they are not going to give up on you or want you less just because you are more honest with them or giving with them or clear about your feelings, which I think, again, is a fear that you may have going into this relationship. But ultimately, you do find that balance between, maintaining that independence, maintaining that self-care that's represented in the Queen of Pentacles, and also being able to open yourself up to having someone else take care of you and find excitement and joy in being with you. Your Romance Angels card here says playfulness, and this says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And that really goes with that Ace of Wands, which is a very playful, kind of sparky, fun, passionate card. And as I said before, that really breaks through the Four of Cups, that breaks through, any stagnancy, any lack of romance, any dwindling of passion because of familiarity, because of ordinariness. And so I think this is really kind of a reiteration that the thing that you really love about your soulmate is, first of all, that they care just as much for you as you care about them. But second of all, that you don't have to worry about them getting bored of you. You always have fun with this person. There's never really a dull moment, even if you're not doing any specific thing that's especially exciting. It feels exciting or it feels new because you're with this person. You really know how to have fun together and kind of awaken each other's childlike wonder of the world, which is a really sweet place to be. So congratulations to you, my pile fours. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you again, and take care.